There is a bat outside my door. Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 30. And I have been doing a bunch of things in between the last episode and this one. And one of those things are I've made my first locomotive. And the plan was to use this to establish a railway to the village I found, where I found the mine. However, we are going to postpone that a little bit. I have been making some tracks. I don't quite remember where I put them. I might not have made any more than these yet. Anyway, I've moved the coke oven into here, as you can see. There's some automation going on. I've moved the creosote tank here as well, and that is because I've been using them, using the creosote oil with the in the carpenter to make ties for my tracks. I have been using the rolling machine as well to make rails, obviously, which is why I've set up my steam engine that I found to produce power for these two machines. Now, there has been a few updates. So I've updated Project Red. I've updated Open Computers to support some changes in Project Red. It's nothing game-breaking, but there were some errors. So Project Red now has integrated circuits. Now, unfortunately, the printer requires an emerald, and I have no emeralds yet. However, integrated circuits are also diamonds. Essentially, you make a blueprint, you put it on the IC workbench, and you then get to design a redstone circuit using these gates, wire, bundled wire, cable, and stuff on a 2D plane. And you can then print that out into one of these chips using the printer, and then you craft this with these circuit plates, and it becomes a gate similar to these, but it has all that circuitry you designed on the blueprint in it, and you can specify inputs and outputs and stuff like that, and it's quite neat. So when you need an intricate circuit and don't have space to use these gates in the world, you can spend some additional resources and some time, and you can build an integrated circuit which will save you a lot of space. So I'm probably going to end up using that in the future. I have also updated Railcraft. So before, the pressure chamber interface used plastic in its recipe. However, it has now been rebalanced, and the recipe is now a piston or a hopper and a pressure chamber wall, which is a lot more accessible at our current level. So the pressure chamber interface, as you can see, it has an input side and an output side. And depending on which way this is facing, it's going to enable you to input or output items into the pressure chamber without breaking it open. So if we place this here, you can see the pressure chamber formed, and we have our output side in there, and the input side is in here. So this interface, we can input things into here, and this will put them into the chamber. Without having to break it. So it's essentially an airlock. We then want another one to be able to get items out. Now I would like to be able to, I forget what this lever was for. I would like to expand the pressure chamber a little bit to enable us to have the interfaces on the same side. And since I can't make any more compressed iron right now, I'm going to use Windows a bit. So we put that there. Then we try to face this way while putting it. And we can see the input side is on the inside, and the output side is on the outside of the pressure chamber. And this means that this interface will take items on the inside and output them on the outside of the chamber. And you can filter. By default, this will grab anything it can, so any items that is input into the chamber will be immediately output by this interface, unless we tell it. So if we input iron, this, when not having a filter, would immediately take the iron and output it back outside. But we definitely don't want that. What we want is the interface to only output pressurized iron. So we would have to specify that in the filter to make sure it doesn't take the iron out before it's ready. These are hard to break. I'm going to put some windows on this side, and then I'm going to put the valve block on the side here. So that should do. We still don't have enough, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to make some more walls. And I suppose I could have done that to begin with, but oh well. And the valve and the chamber should form. I think this is facing the wrong way. That should be fine. Does the chamber have to be... it has to be an even cube. It can't be elongated like this. Well, that is unfortunate. Well, I'm going to disassemble this and and I will be right back. Alright, here we are. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to put the valve in the back of the chamber. We're going to put the interfaces on the sides that will be facing into the room. So I'm going to put you there, and we're going to put this there. Now we're going to, actually I don't have to break that. I'm going to mosey on outside, and we're going to put the valve there. Now unfortunately this means we don't have any room to put in any windows. You can't put windows in the corners and you wouldn't be able to see anything through it anyway. Now why are you not forming? Did I forget to put... I forgot to put a wall block in the bottom center, didn't I? Yeah. Alright. There we go. Then we're going to need a hopper and going to show what we're going to use that for shortly, unless you've already figured it out. So we're going to make a hopper like so. Then we're going to put this hopper on this interface here, and we don't need to filter the input at all, because anything we put in here is going to we're going to want to go in the chamber. Now for the output, we're going to want somewhere for the stuff to end up, and I'm going to make a crate for that stuff. We put that there, and then we're going to put a cobblestone pipe there. So now we can access this interface, and if we have a look here, you can see it's in export mode, and this is controlled by the way it's facing. And now we would need to connect a power source to this valve again. Now the air compressor is over by the furnace, or the gas lift, I mean. I would like one of these so I could use RF from the steam engine to power it. To do that, I need a PCB, and to get that I need these things, and to get these things I need plastic. So these were the things that the interface used in its recipe before. And to get plastic, I'm going to want to process oil, and to do that I still need a refinery, and to get a refinery I still need diamonds. So now we're back to I need a mine, which means I need to establish a railway to my mining village. So what I'm going to want to do is get a track layer cart. And oh dear, that is expensive. So we need a block of steel. And the easiest way to get a block of steel is to fill up this to get a block of iron, and then throw it into the blast furnace, and it will be turned into a block of steel. That is perfect. So there we have our block of iron. Now I hope I have... It should be enough. Then we're going to need quite a bunch of blocks of steel, or blocks of iron more. 3 to be precise. Because I have to make another anvil. Now I already have an anvil that I made before that I haven't really been using. Then also need 4 iron ingots as well. Dang it. I don't happen to have a board right now. Whoops. I also have... I have a minecart that I found down in that mine, I think. Pretty sure that's where I got them from. I used the other one to make the locomotive, obviously. So those came in handy. I then need 2 dispensers. So I need to make a couple of bows for those. Redstone I have. Need a redstone lamp, which means need some glowstone. Fortunately, I have already been in the Nether and acquired some glowstone because I needed, or I wanted to make a recycler, which you can see over here. I also made a compressor. I cannot make a macerator yet because I need a diamond. It was like that. You can go in there. Then there's a minecart like that. So a redstone lamp. I think I put the glowstone in here somewhere. Need for a few. And then for a few. Like so. Then I need to get some yellow dye. I don't know if I have any of that. I don't think I do. I don't have any yellow flowers in here. So I'm going to go look for that. And when I get back, hopefully the block of steel will be ready as well. So I'll be back shortly. Oh, and as you can see as well, I've tamed myself a horse, which I've put with the cows back here. Alright, I'm back, and I happen to find 2 dandelions. And apparently I can do that. That's a shame. I can craft them. Sift. Blacksmith's anvil, I don't have that. So this will have to do. Turned out to be very few of those around here. But anyway, here we go. Our track layer cart. So the track layer cart, you push it in front of the locomotive and it will lay down the tracks you've specified in front of it, essentially. And it is capable of going up and down inclines, which is handy. So, what I wanted to do, so the village is in that direction, and in that direction is a lot of ocean. So what I'm probably going to want to do is build a bridge, and I may want to use stone posts to do that. To do that, I'm going to need rebar. I could either use bronze. It does get me 4 for 3 bronze. Or I could use steel. I do have a bunch of iron still. So I'm going to make some rebar using steel. And that should be handy. So I think 3 times 4 is 12. That will give me 4 rundowns of rebar for crafting operations. Don't think that's enough coal coke. Just need to grab some more. Seems we've run out of coal there. I'm also going to need a bunch of stone. Oh. Well, we've run out of cobblestone there. Fortunately, I have a crate in here full of it from digging out the oil pool, which hasn't increased any since the last episode. Where I was using that, I have not been pumping any oil. And we'll let that process. That's going on. Let's dump some of this stuff in here that I don't need right now. Dirt goes in here. So in addition to the updates, I've also added 2 new mods. And these are the garden stuff mod. And as you can see, it adds quite a bit of things. And the main thing it brings is in here. So let's do this. So a compost bin is 3 slabs and 6 sticks, or bamboo. Do have bamboo already. Don't know if I have any wooden slabs anywhere. I do. Excellent. Let's use the jungle ones. So if we do this, we can get 4 of those. Perfect. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that, really, but whatever. So the compost bin, let's put them out in the garden. You can put stuff in them, and the stuff will slowly decompose. So for example, if we look here, you can see we can put wood, bamboo, and sticks. And I probably have some organic stuff. I am encumbered by carrying heavy stuff. Rotten flesh should work. We have a lot of that. Some fermented spider eyes. Let's do that. I have a lot of rotten flesh, which I'm probably not going to use a lot of. So if we put this stuff in here, like so, those don't work. Oh well. This will produce compost. And compost have a bunch of uses, so we can use it to make a garden trowel. It can be used to make a special sapling, and this is essentially an oak sapling with vines on it, like the ones you'll find in vanilla swamps. And we can make garden soil. And garden soil is slightly better than vanilla tilled dirt. So you can till garden soil, and you can plant stuff on it, just like tilled dirt. The advantages of that is that it will impair a slight bonus to the growing speed of the crop, and it will also you can't trample it into dirt again, or you can't untill it by jumping on it, and that is very nice because it means I don't have to worry about spiders getting in and causing that, which is extremely annoying. And there's also a bunch of other things this adds that we're going to look at eventually. The second mod is the Yigamel Chatels mod. I might not be pronouncing that correctly. And this adds a bunch of cool decorative stuff. It adds some shelves, a wardrobe. It adds pedestals, which are extremely cool. There's a basic wooden pedestal which you can put an item on, and it will basically lay it down on the flatly on top. If it's a block, it'll be sitting on top halfway into the pedestal. The stone pedestal is a slightly improved version. If you put an item on it, it will be standing upright, so it'll be easier to view it. And the iron, gold, and diamond pedestals are even fancier. And we're probably going to have a look at them eventually. You can make a grandfather clock, which is a big 2-block tall clock that shows you the in-game time. A tiki torch is a nicer version of a vanilla torch, which you can have outside. A loot chest. Treasure pile, which is not super nice looking. It's essentially a way to place gold in the world without using gold blocks, and it's a dynamic block, so it will connect and stuff to other gold blocks. But I don't like the texture of that, unfortunately. Let's go inside, I think. And there are gongs, which you can use a mallet to hit to make a gong sound. Snow globe, which is kind of cool. We might make one of those eventually, but not right now. You can make statues. You can also carve blocks. And a lot of the a bunch of the furniture stuff you can make uses these refined planks, and to make those you have to saw up wood in, let's see, this, and then you have to press it and treat it in the table press. Okay, quit doing that. Stupid zombies. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of the episode. So, in the next one, we're going to continue working on the rebar stuff to make the concrete pillars or stone pillars. And we may get started on the railway. And with that, I will see you in the next episode.
Tell me I'm everything you despise. That I'm the personification of evil. That I'm what? Responsible for the breakdown of the fabric of society and world order. I'm a one-man genocide. Say everything you want to say to me now. Because you don't have long.
think you're already there.